Okay, so things are going to get more out of control before they get better, or before guidelines are put in place to stop it from being even more out of control. All of this is taking place for a reason. It's the same thing I've heard from my own guardian angel, but Jesus is saying the same thing because I've been complaining. And she says, this needs to happen and it's happening for a reason. And I'm like, grumble, grumble, grumble. So everything is taking place for a reason, and for us to hang in there and hold steady. There's going to be a more upheaval and chaos happening globally as this inflation hikes in multiple different areas. It's important for you to hold steady and hunker down where you are if you're guided to stay where you are, to be around loved ones and to stay close.
What an irony. My mirror shows the other side of me. All these ones and zeros, nothing in between. But there's so much more to me than eyes can see. I'm not binary.
Hello, everyone. I am coming on live to talk a little bit about what is to come in the future on Earth in regards to ascension and the energy that is going to be coming in. And of course, these changes affect and impact our energy as well. And I know it's interesting because with the course that I'm doing coming up, the remote viewing course on April 15th, one of the main things that Spirit would like me to talk about is the changes coming to light workers here on Earth pertaining to the energy coming from the central sun. So I thought, okay, so that's enough of an importance just to be talking about during this course. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It's kind of indicating to everyone that is well on their way of their ascension path. And what is a light worker? Is a person called to help others here on Earth. It could be something like I'm doing. It could be Reiki. It could be helping your next door neighbor, and maybe several family members. It could be a lot of different things, but I liken it to someone that's just here to help others on Earth. Even just by lifting and raising your own frequency and being, more on the positive side, I would deem you as a light worker because you're impacting and affecting the collective consciousness here on Earth. So it's just that I think in the spiritual community, we see light workers as stepping forward and helping others in more of the spiritual type of sense of the community, in the community. So it's just, for me, I see it from a broader perspective. So the energy that's coming forth from the central sun is what they want to talk about during that course. And that will be something that I bring to the forefront. I haven't got a clue what they want to talk about. But today we're going to be channeling source frequency. Any one of us can do that at any time. Light and love, universal oneness, God, whichever way you want to call this frequency. It's everywhere, and it's permeating through everyone, and we are a spark of that frequency. So it's pretty cool that you can tune into that frequency anytime you want and channel a message anytime you want. And in fact, when I first started to channel, that was the first message had come through, was from Source. And there was a little humor with it that, me observing that I'm actually listening or channeling some other energy through my mind other than my own thoughts. Because most of us just have such a racing, busy mind that we don't even remotely acknowledge or understand or even try to even conceive that we can channel, let alone how we do it, right? And hence why I feel drawn to putting together these mediumship courses, because it's important for you to learn and observe what is going on around you and within you, because it's constant messages. People are like, I don't hear anything, I'm left alone, and they don't come and visit me. But that's the furthest thing from the truth. So I teach how to do that. Some of us are more claircognizant, whereas some of us are more clairvoyant. Some of us are more clairaudient, whereas some of us are more clairsentient. And it's really cool to observe and pick up the information in the way that is best for you, right? And then as you practice, you develop all of them. It's really cool, because I was not clairaudient, and I was not not what I would deem as what clairvoyant was in the beginning. Not at all. I'm, I guess, one of those mediums that I wasn't born like this. This wasn't what I was used to at a young age. Okay. There's many of you coming into my mediumship courses that have way more, as far as time is concerned. You guys have way more experience than me. You've been doing this ever since a young age. It's just that I help to channel the guidance that helps to break it down to understand what's going on in an easy way to observe and learn. Thankfully, because the angels have done that. Okay, so we are going to be channeling a message from Source today. And we're going to be talking about what is to come on Earth with the ascension. Your ascension path, the incoming energy, okay? Now, we could talk about this coming from the central sun. We could talk about this coming from Source directly. We'll find out what we're going to be talking about, because I don't know. I do know that from the central sun is what we will be discussing during the remote viewing course. It doesn't matter if your third eye is open or not. Did you know that? Many people think your third eye has to be open to channel, but we are all channeling all the time. So most of us on Earth are channeling unconsciously. And I break it down to show you how you are channeling on a day-to-day basis. And then I show you how to do it consciously. So if your third eye isn't open, mine was not open for years. I was even giving readings and my third eye was not open. So there are many, many other ways of channeling energy other than with your third eye. Okay? And it's okay if your third eye isn't open, because that just tells me that likely you're more clairsentient or clear feeling, or you're more claircognizant or clear knowing. Okay? So, and also, what does it mean that your third eye is open? What does that mean? Does anybody know? Does it mean you feel pressure in the forehead area? Does it mean that all of a sudden you're seeing outside of your mind what is going on around you energetically? Does it mean that you're seeing inside your mind what's going on around you energetically? Does it mean that you can do remote viewing all of a sudden? So, you know, for me, and I think for most of us that are new to channeling, we weren't born like this. To just see spirit show up around us might freak us out, right? So when we talk about your third eye being open, it is a matter of, perception beyond usual sight. So you have your eyes, and then you have what you see in your mind. So if you have a really vivid, you can see things just show up in your mind. Maybe you have a message come in. But that's the thing. Most of us are like, oh, that was just, me daydreaming. Was it? Or was it a message from spirit? Right? So your third eye would just mean that you're going to receive images from spirit. And it's not just your third eye. It's also you'll notice that your pineal gland on the back of your skull will light up. And when they come through that region to relay, I can tell, I'm like, okay, well, obviously I'm going to be getting some visuals now because I can feel my pineal gland start to throb and a lot of warmth back there. And I know that they're sending me information via energy through that region, and then it ends up being kind of like just imagery placed in my mind, and all I have to do is relax and just see what I see. But most of us are second guessing and doubting ourselves to the point where we won't relay what we pick up on. We just go, oh no, that can't be right. Or there are things that I see that I'm like, I don't get this at all. And I'll say it to the client and they're like, oh yeah, and this is why you're seeing this. They know. I don't. I don't know. My job isn't to know. My job is to let go, trust and have faith, relay the first thing that I'm getting. That's my job. It's not to know everything or to be right all the time or to have it just so before I relay it. No, my job is to receive, relax, don't second guess it, and say what I'm receiving. Yes. So, like you guys know, I talk about this, the third eye and then through the two halves of the brain back to the pineal gland, and they like to light that up with a lot of energy because it makes it easier for them to flood their energy into that region and for you to pick up on it even more easily and more fluidly. And as you guys have seen me over the past 5 years develop and grow, my own abilities have opened and flourished much more. I've even had my clients tell me this. They're like, whoa, like amazing. I've had clients come to me recently be like, yeah, my mom has been to you and she told me your abilities have opened and expanded over the years. And I'm like, yeah, they really have. So that's what this light is partially all about, coming in and streaming through us. And the path of ascension is to open our channels and to be more aware of the energy that is around us and flowing through us and communicating with us all the time. The veil will be thinning more and more over time. So I used to think, oh, there's a veil. And I'm like, I wonder if I can just relax my mind and see the veil, But what is the veil really? What is it in truth? The veil, from what I've seen over the years, is your chakra centers opening and expanding to pull in more. Yes. Yep. Well, there's 2 Pauls, so I'm not sure which Paul you're talking about. So there's Paul Milgis, and then there's Paul Wyrostic. Yeah, both are on fire. I would agree with both of them. So as these channels open and the veil thins, we can pick up on what messages are coming in from spirit more easily, rather than in the beginning, your chakra centers are so not as open as mine are now. And over time, yours will open more and more. So I don't put too much emphasis on the third eye. Everybody thinks the third eye has to be open to channel. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be open at all. You could be like just picking up on clairsentiently or clear feeling, like subtle pressure on the top of your head, maybe some tingling. So it all progresses like this from what I've seen in my courses. Some people feel a slight tingling. Good, excellent. That's where the angels are. They're right above your head. And then they progress to, okay, now it's not just tingling. Now I'm feeling more of a pressure and warmth fantastic. Oh, and then it will progress to, I'm feeling pressure, and my third eye, or sorry, my crown chakra is now opening and expanding, and I can actually feel energy coming in. And I say, okay, so now let's relax the mind and let's channel the messages that they would like to relay through you. And that may even, a lot of the time, come through a thought form or your own internal voice. Love it. I think, yeah, like Teresa's saying, it's open, but is it open to the point where we're going to pick up on images and, the messages coming through the third eye? I wouldn't put much emphasis on that. I'd let it flow through whichever way is best where you are right now. So I wouldn't put much, oh, my third eye's not open, so I'm not going to channel. I can't channel because my third eye's not open. No, you're channeling all the time. All the time. Yep, tingling or even tickling type of sensation. So it's really interesting, the different ways that and it all depends on where we're at. And then the more we practice, what happens? Just like when you practice anything, it becomes more open, it becomes more fluid. You probably receive channeled guidance unconsciously on how to do what you're doing better. You just happen to know how to operate the car better or ride your bike better. You didn't read a manual, nobody told you, but intuitively, claircognizantly, clear knowingly, you get an insight or information that tells you, oh, well, if you do this, this, and this, well, you'll be able to ride the bike better, or that makes it a smoother ride in the car. We're constantly channeling all the time. Or something's moving. Yeah. I used to get this suctioning feeling when I would ask Archangel Michael, could you just vacuum me? Because I always felt like I needed to ask for vacuuming all the time. And then he said, why don't you just ask me to move into your home? And I said, why would I do that? And then, oh, okay. And then he moved into my home and I don't have to ask for any of that anymore. Some people are so set on a daily, schedule of asking and saging and then, but where does that stem from? Comfort, feeling safe. But why do you feel not safe? That's where I would question. Anything where that makes you feel relaxed and safe, just do it. And then you don't have to do the rituals, the constant rituals, because anything low vibrational won't be a match for your frequency anyways. All right, let's talk with Source. Source says, thank you, Kristin. This is a topic that I've been wanting to discuss with the populace for some time. For those who are ready, for those who are wanting to listen, for those who are here observing this broadcast or sharing it with their friends and family who are ready. The first thing Source is saying is, please don't impose or enforce this path onto others. If they ask you a question, if they are curious, if they want more information, then so be it. But otherwise, allow them to be as they choose. For when they are ready, they will come. Source is talking about when we watch the news, there are light codes infused within the news coming through the television screen or our phone or our laptop or computer, etc. It is important as to what you observe and what you watch and what you pay attention to. If you feel that you need to be informed, so be it, preferably for brief periods from your phone only. A lot of what is being relayed isn't always accurate anyways. And Source is saying that with a smile or a slight smile. So like you think you got to be informed, but then like you're not even getting the full picture. You're not even getting informed of what's truly going on anyways. Source would rather us pay attention to our own vibrational frequency and what we are observing, because much okay, go ahead. There are light codes streaming in from many different ways, from many different directions, and it's important as to what you're observing and watching, because those light codes impact and affect you directly, irregardless of being informed or otherwise. And not all of the light codes that are streaming forth from our media, for example, are best for us. Some drop our frequency and make us feel uncomfortable or sad. The information coming through these devices is not always accurate, and at times plays on the populace, plays on their mind. Okay. What matters most is your own vibrational frequency, separate from all. Everything, everyone. Your frequency on its own. And you will have a good dose of what that frequency is based upon what thoughts within you that you are rotating most often, your feelings, your emotions, the words you speak, and also the words in which you are drawn to hearing from others. So if you are drawn to the news and watching it on a regular basis, there will be something there that is a vibrational match for your energy. In order to shift this, one suggestion would be helping out in your local community, helping those in need in your local community, handing out food, handing out clothing, helping those in your local community. You will soon have a feeling of well-being, that you are participating, that you are helping, and this will help to lift and raise your frequency, feeling gratitude and appreciation, rather than sitting and watching something that is continuously dropping the frequency, feeling more unease, feeling more irritation, feeling more anger, feeling more lost and hopeless, like you can't do anything. Help those who need help. Okay. That's one way of shifting your frequency. And Source says, when you're helping those in your local community, I guarantee you won't be focusing or fixating on the news that is being broadcast worldwide. And each area is getting a different stream of news. So what one country is receiving is quite different than another country, although some countries have similar news broadcasted depending on their location and who is and the basically the power seats that are in charge of what we are being fed. Okay, so let's talk about what is coming forth through the remainder of 2022. We're going to get a break And this is starting in the middle of March. Some of you may have already received the first wave of high vibrational frequency coming from Source a few days ago. Some of you may not have noticed this frequency. If you would like to allow this high vibrational frequency to permeate your vessels, your minds, your energy body, say so. Some of us are a little bit more closed off or having a harder time lower in frequency, and we may not have noticed this frequency coming in. Some of us are further along on our ascension path and maybe more open than others, therefore taking in and or receiving, noticing this frequency may be easier for others versus someone else. Yeah, it lasted a long time. Wasn't it amazing? It was like, oh, I knew as soon as I woke up in the morning, and a few of my friends were saying the same thing, like, oh, wow, it just felt so incredible. And it went through the whole day like that. It was just like, oh, the peace and the calm and the relaxation and the bliss. It was wonderful. Okay. So for those of you that may not have noticed this coming in, but you'd like to receive it further, you can say, yes, please. And Source will step forward and give you more of this light frequency and open you further to receive it. Yeah, cloud 9, literally. That's what it was like, cloud 9. So many of you are receiving. That's great. Okay. Oh, that's great. Yeah. So I noticed with source frequency or the waves of energy coming in with ascension, that they'll come in and then slowly dip away. So even though we might not get that full peak of the energy, it's still here and it's subsiding over days. Okay, so that's been an olive branch handed out to each of you, or a hand given to you from Source if you would like this moving forward, because there are more waves to come in order to uplift the masses and help the masses. And that is something that Source is helping us with, helping us here on Earth. I'm also getting the word gifted. But, this comes in and we need it, especially after this past winter where we had a lot of the dense frequency here on Earth purged and it was heavier. It was hard to keep as positive. There were times where I wasn't sleeping very much. So now we're having the opposite come in. And so let's just milk this train while it's coming in. Let's do it. So let's talk about what's going to come after that. More of this coming in. It's like waves. It comes in and then it subsides, and then another one will come in and then it subsides. So you're not just asking for one wave. You're asking for multiple high vibrational waves to permeate, okay? Okay, and this is going to go on through April, May, June, July, August. Excellent. So this is going to be great. It will start to feel a little bit like normal again, or some form of normalcy, okay? All right. Now, September is going to be a different story. We're going to start moving back into a direction of gentle purging, which will start to intensify through October even more through November. And then just we're being asked to hunker down, rest and relax through December, just like this last December, and January, and most of February. So it's going to be the same thing as last. This is correct. Almost the same. So it's going to be purging time through the winter. Also, COVID cases will be going up. So we can see that the energy being purged on Earth is coinciding with the COVID cases, which forces us to slow down and hunker down for a bit, slow down and keep to ourselves more, which is being requested in order for this energy to, we call it purging, but what it is transmutation of the heaviness here on Earth and from us, if there's anything there that needs to be transmuted into the light. And then the energy will pick up again come next March. So if there's here's what Source wants us to know. If there's anything that we would like to get done, to manifest, to focus in on your dreams, opening businesses, starting something new, please do so before the fall. And Source is saying thank you. Now, these waves coming in are coming from Source directly, and I'm seeing it as white light coming through, if you want to call it, outer space, and then washing over the planet. Source is smiling and chuckling at me because I see this as a temporary experience. Do I really see outer space as being real outer space? Do I see this planet as being real? I see it as a temporary experience. Okay. All right. So, I don't really get as invested or taken in on everything happening. Okay. And if I catch myself doing that a lot, if I'm stressed out, then I just try to reel it back in a little bit and ask for help. Like, I need to simmer it down. This is supposed to be an enjoyable journey, not like there's no point in self-sacrificing myself to suffering that's unnecessary or not needed. So Source is going to take in, okay. Yes, so that's this energy coming in is from Source directly. What's going on with the sun, we're going to have light codes continuously coming from the sun. That will be talked about during the remote viewing course. So that's where I'll save that for, because that's what they've requested. So there are light codes coming from the central sun that will be impacting light workers on Earth, and that's what Spirit would like to talk about at that time. Okay, is there any other questions that anyone would like to ask Source? Yes. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm going to ask Source a question. For those of us that would say we're light workers, we are going to be more impacted and affected by this frequency, wherever it's coming from, more so than those who are not interested, not noticing, not observing, maybe not awake. Yes, this is correct. We're all ascending here on Earth, but some of us are more open, aware, awake. Our channels, our chakra centers are more open than others, so we will be participating more so with this frequency, noticing more. Although if you make the request to receive this frequency, then Source will be opening your channels further in order to allow you to receive more and helping you notice it when it comes in more so as suggested to you just previously. You're hilarious, Richard. It's Ireland, Richard, not Greece. God. Okay, so was Richard, it was an option, an opportunity. That's all I'm getting. You know, one thing I'm going to tell everybody that I'm receiving repeatedly from the last few readings that I've received this week, and even what my own guardian angel has been telling me for a month, is there's going to be, it's important to kind of be around your loved ones. And for some of you, you might be guided to travel. You might be guided to go somewhere else. But really pay attention to that, because if you're guided to kind of stay put or not move, not relocate, maybe you're meant to relocate a shorter distance away from home, but anything big or monumental, really hone in on that and see if that's what's best at this time, because the memo coming through repeatedly this week has been to stay put. Don't move unless you have to or need to, or you're being guided to. It's more staying put, hanging back around your loved ones. That's what I'm receiving this week. And globally, that is just what's best at this time. So it doesn't mean don't go on a trip. It doesn't mean don't go and move, okay? What it means is really sit quietly, ask the question as to what is, is this in my highest and best good to go and do this? And then receive a yes or no response within the body, okay? So instead of just, flitting here and there, really ask if this is what's best right now. How cool. I've been having crazy energy through my chest too. Like crazy, but a lot of people have been saying the same thing in the comments the last few lives. So as far as an upgrade with Ashley, opening of your heart chakra, in order to expand your heart chakra, it's needing help to open. Okay. DNA strand within her third eye. Observing, noticing, clairvoyantly. Okay. Noticing, observing. Got it. Anything else? It's opening and expansion of your chakra centers in order to house more light. So as far as an upgrade, not yet. Coming. Not yet, but coming. Okay. So obviously, like they say, opening of our chakra centers allows for more light to permeate, and then you'll be ready for an upgrade, okay? Or the kind of upgrade that they're going to bring in. Your chakra centers need to be more open. Usually when they're working on my chest region, it's like maybe I'm more worried or fearful about something, or I have worrisome thoughts. So they're coming into my heart chakra to keep it open, for example. But that upgrade is coming. So you're probably seeing what you're seeing for a reason, and you have an intuition or a gut feeling because it is coming. Yeah, a dull pain. Yep. So if we're focusing on what's happening worldwide, the news, and, we're syncing our frequency, they're all going to go, okay, well, let's get the heart chakra open again. Okay. 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 So Faith, you're feeling like you're in a holding pattern, but you're noticing, okay. Yeah. But a huge positive. Okay. This is correct. So your soul knows something's coming, and there's like this pretty subtle excitement underneath. But you're still meant to hang back at this time. Not yet, but it's coming. As soon as you say that, Nina, everybody hears that and they start working on your energy. Okay? Frayed. You know when something's worn down a bit. Frayed. Not afraid. I'm saying frayed. Frayed. Okay, Nina? Rest. Relax. Let go. Let go. So I don't know if you're worrying about something, you're holding on to something, you're thinking about something. Let it go. Give it to the angels and then let it go. You put it in their hands. Now you can let it go. Let them work on things and help you. And every time your tape pattern of a brain goes back to that topic in your mind, I let it go to the angels, so I'm not going there. So ask the question, Deborah, and we'll see if we get a yes or no response. Was that Archangel Michael that you were seeing? So is your chest relaxed or tight and pulled back? If you want your crown chakra to open more, then it will. That's just it. And anything that would slow that down from happening or stop that, it won't stop it. You might slow it down slightly. The angels will start working on that too. So it's not a matter of if or will my crown chakra or any of my chakras open more. It's I would like my crown chakra to open further, and then over time the angels will work on whatever is happening in your life that might be slowing you down or hindering that from happening, including your own thoughts and your own vibrational frequency. Love it. Oh, I know, Blue. Insomnia. And it comes and it goes for me. For other people, it's hanging in there like you're like, get out. Just get out. Leave. So it's just a lot of high vibrational frequency coming in. And then you couple that with the fact that you might be living in a location on the planet that's already streaming a lot of high vibrational frequency, right? So you might be in a part of the world that is already anchoring a lot of light. And you might be ready to anchor more light too. Couple that with both combos and it's hard to sleep. Grounding outside in nature, grounding your energy, eating rooted, grounded vegetables. You ground yourself like there's no tomorrow. Also, cardiovascular exercise is really good to tucker yourself out and get the energy flowing and tucker yourself out. And it's good for grounding too. Yes, so dreams will be off the charts right now too, which just tells me you expressing that to me just tells me that you have a lot of energy streaming through your body. Yep. Everything becomes very vivid, very intense. Some people are having out-of-body experiences. This is what is going to be increasing on planet Earth moving forward to help us ascend. And the easiest time to do that is when we're resting and sleeping, or it's lay down time, even though we might not be sleeping, but we're more resting. Let it go, let it go. That's right, Richard, sing it with me. That's what the angels will say to me directly if I'm hanging on to something. They'll start singing that. And I'm like, ah, just trying to crack me up. Okay, so we're keeping on topic. Starseed origin-wise, I will be coming out with a starseed course coming up in the future. And I will be doing that with Paul Milgis, and I will be having Ashley Cunningham and Beth Odom participating as well. So that will be an awesome course coming up. I wouldn't force meditation. If you don't feel like doing it, don't do it. Just let it kind of sit back. But if you're in a good mood, you're feeling more rested, you're feeling really good, yeah, then in those moments when you're feeling good, try to meditate then. But if you're having resistance and it's just kind of a difficult time in life, don't push it. Try not to push it. Some people would disagree with that. They would say, well, if you're having a difficult time, meditate will make you feel better. But you're going to be sitting there bucking the current trying to meditate the entire time when you're in a state. I would say go lay down and have a nap. Go out in nature and have a walk. But when you're in a good state, you have a good morning happening, okay, this is the time where I pounce on the meditation. Perfect. So am I, Blue. We're getting it. Pew, 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 pew. When you're right on the ocean and you're in a location that is streaming a lot more light frequency, Source even tells me a lot more light workers are going to relocate to where I live because they'll be guided to come here and the light frequency is going to be much higher. And for those who are ready to even accelerate, I guess maybe on their ascension path, they'll be guided here. Afraid. Yes, Nina, you are. They're telling me that. Yep. Notice the angels did not use the word broken. They used the word frayed, which means it's going to be temporary. And you asking them to help you is important. Do you want to relay anything else for her? Let go. Practice that, Nina. Practice letting go. We don't have to think about whatever all the time. We don't have to be thinking all the time. We don't have to be focusing on the heaviness all the time. We don't have to be talking about the heaviness all the time. You can actually practice doing the opposite. Quiet time, catching yourself when you keep doing the old tape pattern, letting go, giving it to the angels, and stop. Shift. Just shift. You'll catch yourself doing it several times and move. Turn on some nice music, dance, turn on a funny movie, go out and have a tea at the local coffee shop, shift. The angels want to talk about when we self-sabotage ourselves and that it's unnecessary. And then the more we self-sabotage ourselves with low vibrational thoughts, etc., 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 we then manifest more into our reality that is a vibrational match with that. So you might be attracting in low vibrational people, other low vibrational thoughts, other low vibrational commentary with other people, drama, etc. You'll be drawn to it. And they're talking about when we start to shift, a lot of these people fall away out of our lives, and then we go through a period where we feel lonely and alone. And we wonder why this is happening, but it's because our own frequency is shifting and we're no longer a vibrational match for certain people, irregardless of them being close friends or blood-related family members. What's going to matter most is your own vibrational frequency, and what is coming in the future for many of you is, rather than blood relations, light relations, light-filled beings that are a vibrational match for your own vibrational frequency. So please let go and allow what is unfolding to happen and take place, Nina. Everything is temporary. This too shall pass. So don't cling and hang on to it. Let go. Whew. I think we all really needed to hear that. There's a real punch behind that for everybody, not just for Nina. All right, one last question. That is accurate. The answer, Deborah, yes, you did see Archangel Michael. That was Archangel Michael, and I'm getting a full-blown yes. I got it right when I asked. Yes. Cool. Yes, Deborah. Getting Big Mike on your right there with you. I'll tell you, that is going to be a monumental step forward when you have him working with you. Mm-hmm. Well, my God, woman, you have Big Mike on one side and you got Jesus on the other. You're going to have a lot of light frequency permeating through you every night. Insomnia, not surprised. You can ask them to tone it down at night to allow you to get sleep. Now, I can't always guarantee that that's going to work because the light permeating through your vessel might be of more importance than sleep at this time. But you can maybe negotiate like 2 days a week where you get sleep. You know what they tell me? Sleep during the day and have naps, because that's when the light frequency is simmered down a bit. But what they tell me in the future is that not only are we going to get this light permeating our vessels at night like it is now, but in the future, it will be a 24-hour thing. So if there's ever a time to get your frequency going good and grounding your energy good, this is it. This is the moment. Oh yeah, Richard. Oh yes. All right, Jacqueline, let's practice together. Is it best you would love to move? Okay, so I don't know where you're moving. I don't know if it's going to be local or far away, but let's sense and feel it anyways. I don't need to know that. Will that be a good thing to do soon? So I hope you got that real direct, Jacqueline, because if you're like, yeah, I'm thinking about moving here, or maybe around the block, or maybe over to the next state, or across country, any one of those will be good. We're not really narrowing it down. Okay, so if you want to narrow it down, we can do that. You narrow it down, Jacqueline, in your head, exactly where you want to move. Then I'll practice with you. Okay. Is open, is a possibility. Okay. The reason why the angels are guiding us not to take action steps as if you don't have to move, don't move. If you're not being guided to move, don't move. And the reason why is because inflation is coming and it's going to skyrocket. So the rent that is being paid now is now. By the end of the year, okay, it's going to be a different story. There are going to be other things that we're paying for that we're not necessarily paying for right now, such as hikes in gas. We call it hydro here, or electricity going up. Cost of certain vehicles going up. Cost of food going up. So if you don't have to move or you're not being guided to move, don't. If you're paying a reasonable amount of rent right now, don't move. Unless you have a strong, compelling reason, something is guiding you to move, then move. But I'd do it toot sweet and I wouldn't be waiting too long. Any thoughts on anything else? This is a time to make moves. This is a time to take action. If you're being guided to take action, take it soon, because as we move along throughout the rest of this year, things are going up in cost. And this is another reason why they're guiding us. If you feel inclined to stay close to loved ones, do that. But if you're feeling guided to go somewhere to have a journey and experience, maybe you can come back to your loved ones, then do that. But if we're talking about absolute relocation and hunkering down for a while, and I'm getting like years, hunker down where you're at and stay there. Thank you. Okay? I know that was pretty heavy duty, but we all need to hear that. It's important to hear that. I've been complaining about the uptick in rent right now. I get Jesus pop in and say, you're actually, this is actually a blessing, because moving right now is actually better for you, because things will continue to increase by the end of the year and onwards. Certain guidelines will need to be passed in order to stop this massive increase in rent, for example. So certain things will have to be put in place to enforce that thing. It's already skyrocketed, but they're going to have to pass laws or whatever the case may be in order to help things not get even more out of control. But they're going to get more out of control before that happens. That's the next thing I'm getting. Okay, so things are going to get more out of control before they get better, or before guidelines are put in place to stop it from being even more out of control. Hope you guys understood what I just said. All of this is taking place for a reason. It's the same thing I've heard from my own guardian angel, but Jesus is saying the same thing because I've been complaining. And she says, this needs to happen and it's happening for a reason. And I'm like, grumble, grumble, grumble. So everything is taking place for a reason, and for us to hang in there and hold steady. There's going to be a more upheaval and chaos happening globally as this inflation hikes in multiple different areas. It's important for you to hold steady and hunker down where you are if you're guided to stay where you are, to be around loved ones and to stay close. And you may even have to pool together and pool resources together in order to pull through this. Okay, thank you, dear ones. Thank you, my beloved ones. This is Jesus. I don't know if you feel that, but I feel a lot of his energy pooling down through the top of my head and feeling very peaceful, very calm. All right. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Look under events in the group, and you'll see what's coming up next. Bye.